Hello, welcome back to Betting Expert and our Average Joe's Betting Expert series, where I'm trying to post predictions onto Betting Expert myself and see what it takes to crack into our top tipster of the month standings. Now, as things stand, this month has been fairly quiet for me. I'm not doing anything really in terms of the leaderboard. I've not cracked into it yet, but it's early days in July. Hopefully we can turn things around and try and get a few more winners. I have incidentally posted a few predictions on my profile outside of these videos, so head over to my profile, which I'll link below if you want to see some extra tips. But for today's video, I do have 5 that I'm going to post for some elite football matches. So we're going to look at the Premier League, La Liga and Serie A. So we're going to kick things off with the game in the Premier League between Bournemouth and Tottenham. So here it looks like Bournemouth are in a pretty dire straits. They've lost 5 in a row in the Premier League, while Tottenham's form has kind of dipped up and down a bit. I feel like Tottenham should be strong enough to win this one. I know Eric Dyer's had his ban after what he did against Norwich, or after not the Norwich game. I'm not sure how much that's going to shake up Tottenham really. Maybe it might make them a little bit weaker at the back, but with Harry Kane and Son Heung-min, they should be too strong for Bournemouth, and obviously Bournemouth's form of late being so bad, it looks like an easy win for Tottenham here. I'm usually wary of backing odds-on shots away from home, but I feel like Spurs should have enough in the tank and should do pretty well, because obviously Spurs are trying to push up for unlikely Champions League spot, but they do have a potential avenue for that. So they need to get this win. Obviously, Bournemouth need to win as well, but I don't think the personnel are strong enough to do so. So we're going to back Spurs to win. The first prediction, I'm just going to post this onto my profile. And for the second game, we're going to look at Everton and Southampton. Now, these two teams have actually performed really well since the lockdown. Southampton, of course, beating Man City last time out. No, not a lot of people saw that coming, especially me. But yeah, I feel like this one, again, could be a pretty close game. And I feel like it could be an avenue for both teams to score. It looks like that seems to be the right kind of market, or the right kind of market to bet on. And obviously with them both scoring goals lately, then I feel like that trend should continue. And obviously it's an entertaining bet as well for both teams to score. So let's go and predict that one. And yeah, as I say in my analysis, actually the previous 6 encounters between these two have seen both teams get on the score sheet. So it feels like that trend's going to continue today. And that tip's now posted on Betting Expert. And the final Premier League game tonight is Aston Villa against Man United. Now I am an Aston Villa fan, but I don't feel like I can be very biased when it comes to this, because the form that Villa are in is pretty poor. And also the form we have against top 6 sides as well is abysmal. Man United are worthy 1 to 3 favourites. They're obviously in great form as well. They've won every game since the lockdown. So yeah, I don't hold many high hopes for Villa in this one. So I feel like the value in terms of the betting market is to look at the Asian handicap and actually back Man United minus 1.5. So of course they do need to win by 2 goals for that bet to come in. But I feel like at even money, it's very much likely to happen. So it does pain me to tip against Villa, but yeah, I'm trying to get into the profit to do well in the tips of the month standings. So I feel like I have to follow my head in this one, not my heart. Go for Man United to beat Villa comfortably. Next, we move on to Serie A and the game between Verona and Inter, where here Inter are a lot higher up in the rankings than Verona. And we're actually going for a bit of an outside pick in terms of the odds for this one. So we do favour an Inter Milan win. But one stat that I feel like is key in this one as well is that Inter have one of the best defensive records in the whole division. So I do feel that they'll keep a solid game in this one. Verona don't have a lot to play for. They might be able to make a push for a European spot, but that's a big long shot. So I don't feel like they'll have the impetus to go out and get a lot of goals. And I feel like Inter are solid at the back, and I feel like they will keep a clean sheet. So I'm actually going to back Inter to win to 0. Now I know in previous videos I did say about maybe avoiding kind of long shots, and that's kind of not what the top tips on Betting Expert do. But this one I feel like the value is there in the 11 to 5 on Inter to win to 0. So we're going to go for that, and we're going to use the stake 7, the maximum that we can put at these odds. Hopefully that comes in, and that will obviously give us a nice boost in our profit for the month. It's probably our outside pick of the 5, but we're going for it. And the final game we're going to talk about is Athletic Bilbao against Sevilla over in Spain. Now here Sevilla are in good form as well. They've done well for us in terms of our last few tips in games involving them. Bilbao are doing pretty well themselves this season, but Sevilla, a key thing for me in this game is that Sevilla's away track record is fantastic. They would actually sit second in the league if you only took away form. Now be wary of Bilbao because, I mean, they have only lost 2 games in the last, well, 5 it says here, but in the last 8, they've only lost 2 games, and that was to Real Madrid and Barcelona. So they're doing pretty well. But here I feel like Sevilla are the better team. So we are going to back them straight up to win the game. So yeah, I feel like with their away track record, Sevilla should win this one. And again, it's a kind of an outside pick in terms of the odds, but we're getting a good price, so we're going to go for it. And that's it for today's video. What do you make of today's tips and our fancy new graphics? Let me know in the comments below. And if you do place a bet, as always, please do gamble responsibly.